Welcome to our 5 on 5. Pleased to be joined today by Brad Bennington, the Executive Officer of the Builders Association of Southern Oregon. Good to see you, Brad. Thanks for being here.
Craig, thanks for inviting me. Good to be here.
So, in case anybody doesn't know, what exactly do you do with the Builders Association?
You know, it's my pleasure to be the Executive Officer of the Builders Association of Southern Oregon, and what we do, we provide education, advocacy, and policy support for the building industry in Southern Oregon.
Okay, and so that's home, commercial, everything?
Everything.
Okay.
Everything from land use planning to how do I find a contractor.
Okay, so and obviously a lot encompassed under that umbrella. As we were talking before, kind of a pre-interview conversation, it sounds like we have a bit of a resource shortage.
We do.
Specifically in regard to our labor.
We do, yeah. So, you know, everyone remembers, you know, the disasters that we've had over the last couple of years, the fires down in California, the floods anyway. So there are only so many companies that build building materials, and so our building material pipelines have really been stretched with providing, you know, everything that's necessary. Plus, I think everybody understands that we've had an increase just in construction in general, you know, as we come out of the Great Recession. Mm-hmm. Eventually that will, I hope that will become less of an issue than it is now. But, you know, Craig, the thing that we're really struggling with right here in our area and across the United States is a shortage of skilled labor. We only have 40% of the skilled labor today that we had 12 years ago. But the really big problem is that 50% of that 40% is old men like me. And we're going to be out of the workforce within the next 5 years, and we have hardly any young people in the pipeline behind us.
Interesting. Okay, so are you know, with the Great Recession, as you mentioned, it seemed like a lot of people, at least locally, got out of construction. Are these people not getting back into construction? Are they not into construction here? They just went somewhere else?
Yeah.
How does that shake out, if you will?
Yeah, Craig, that's a great question. So what you're talking about is when in the Great Recession, what happened is some of our people retired, some of them relocated, and some of them retrained. But the net is that very, very few of those people, once they had either done one of those three things, have come back into the industry. So what we do have is we have a tremendous shortage of skilled labor. You know, again, you line up 100 guys that we had 12 years ago, and out of that 100 guys now we've only got 40. And half of that 40, 20 of those guys are old men that, you know, within the next few years they're going to be out of that industry, and it's an industry that you can't outsource. You know, if you call someone and you say, hey, I need my roof repaired, or I need my wiring repaired, or I need my driveway repaved, you can't do that over a telephone with somebody in India. You have to call a local company who has local workers that can come out and do your work for you. So it's local work. It can't be outsourced, and it's absolutely critical to the health of our community.
Okay, we're going to talk about what people can do to find out more, possibly get into the industry.
Yeah.
In just a quick commercial break. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Brad Bennington from the Builders Association of Southern Oregon. So we're talking about, sounds like, I believe your words, a critical shortage of qualified workers in construction industry. And you guys, it sounds like we, generally speaking, the community need more people in these areas. What kind of jobs specifically do we need to fill?
Yeah, Craig, that's a great question. And what I can tell you is that we have skilled labor shortages across the entire spectrum of everything that we do in construction, whether it's heavy equipment operators, pavers, concrete finishers, framers, roofers, you name it, and even in the highly skilled trades such as electricians and plumbers. And these are really, really good paying jobs that are just really begging for young people to get involved. And I'll tell you, these are jobs that pay the kind of money that if you're going to come out of high school and you want to get a job where you can afford to service a mortgage on a home, buy cars, take care of a family, these are jobs that will absolutely meet those financial goals. Okay,
and so we're talking about a lot of different jobs. So, but what kind of education, what kind of training do people need for these types of positions?
Craig, that's a great question. And the answer is that many of these positions really don't require much more than just getting involved in the profession, similar to what we used to call an apprenticeship. So if they want to contact us or even reach out to their local schools, they can point them in the right direction. Now, some of these jobs are going to require more training than others, and probably, you know, one of the highest trained positions that you can get in our industry is becoming an electrician. But you know what the good news is that if you want to become an electrician, they will pay you, right? So if you're a young person that's getting out of college and you're looking at, well, you know, I could borrow $150,000 to go to school for a few years and hope I have a job at the other end of it, here's an alternative for you to think about. How about thinking about becoming an electrician and have them pay you a lot of money to learn how to do it and then have a guaranteed job at the end of it?
Interesting.
How does that sound?
Sounds pretty decent. Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Craig.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.